Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and I am here today for the next part in my Tarot and Oracle deck collection declutter grouping series video in honor of my depth year. And this time we're talking about my highly spiritual decks, the decks I use for very specific things in my spiritual practice. And this is my biggest group. Missed the last videos, there's a playlist up above. They're in the playlist up above of my deck collection evolution. We started off with ranking and showing you of the decks that I started the year with, which ones I still had, which ones had moved on or are going to be moving on. And from there, we've broken it into groups. This is the fourth one now. And as I said, it is my super highly spiritual decks. And I'm going to start with the ones that are off to the side in a different place so I don't forget about them. First one up is technically comprised of two decks. And it is one I just acquired. This is a combo deck using my Seeker Oracle and my Messenger Oracle by Raven Phelan. At the time I'm filming this, I just got these like 2 days ago. And this, as I said, is a combination deck. I use these with my Dreams of Gaia Tarot. I'll grab that now, might as well. Here it is. I'll show you through that in a minute. I use this with my Dreams of Gaia Tarot for a new and evolving devotional divinity practice. I don't want to give too much details right yet because I have this kind of weird superstition around giving too many details. Look at this, one of my favorite cards. But when I feel ready, I plan to do a video talking about this devotional divinity practice, talking about how I create my deck, because I just created this specific combination of the deck last night, and my plan currently is to take it apart and recreate it with the remaining cards and see what create a new combo deck seasonally. That's my current plan. Anyways, so I have this, and this category is, oh god, these colors, I just adore them. This category is specifically for things that I use in an incredibly intricate spiritual way. This is a huge part of my spiritual practice. The reason my Heavenly Bodies and Starseeker didn't end up in this grouping is because I love this picture so much too. That is not just a spiritual thing. That is something I do use for spiritual work. It is a part of my spiritual practice, but it just doesn't feel the same as working with these. I have the Dreams of Gaia Pocket Edition, and I fucking adore this deck. Oh my god. And oh, the guidebook on this, it's amazing. This cardstock feels a bit thicker. Yeah, this is thicker, which is a shame because this is such a nice cardstock. I really like this cardstock. This one's a bit thicker. It still works, and it'll break in hopefully a bit. Oh, but oh my god, the guidebook on this. When I do that video, it's going to be a very in-depth video. It could be a while before I do it, but do let me know if you're interested to hear about the devotional divinity work I'm doing with my Raven Phelan decks, because I'm incredibly interested to share it when the time is right. But so I do have those. And I started with those because I keep them in a special place. I keep them on a little shelf. So that way I can, there's like a bunch of motorcycles passing or something. I keep them on a little shelf with the journal, because the work I do with this is so intensely private that I don't journal about it in my bullet journal. So I keep those off to the side. Those are obviously staying because I know what I use them for. Next one I have is another oracle I got this year so far. And this is the Power of Surrender oracle cards. And my word of the year is surrender. So when I heard of this, I had to get it. And they're really good. Like the messages: surrender your ego, cultivate gratitude, be of service to others, and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. They're perfect. They're just grab and go kind of. I've pulled this card before. I've pulled this card a lot. I like this deck a lot. I've used it to... I pull a card at the new moon because the new moon is about releasing. So it feels right. I've pulled this card about 1 billion times. I don't know what the hell is going on outside. Hold on. I'm so sorry for the sound of that. There was like a band of bikers driving by. I do live on a main road. It's not normally super loud. But it is a main road. Anyway, I pulled these for the full moon. I, for a time, was pulling them when it felt like I needed a new message. I would pull one and it would be my like bookmark on my daily page. That was a really good practice. I might do that again. That's a lot of yellow all in one. But this is a really good deck, and it's highly spiritual. Honestly, I had this with my astrology cards because for some reason I like to sit it together with my heavenly bodies and my Starseeker, but it's not an astrology deck. This is a deck specifically for my spiritual practice with my word of the year. And surrender is an extremely spiritual thing. So I have that. And it's not going anywhere. This category is the largest category and also probably the one I'm the most picky about. And next up, I have my Goddess Oracle. I still don't know what to do with this one. I don't have a tarot to go with it. Sorry, I just had an idea and I got a little sidetracked, but I'll stick that on in the appropriate video. Anyways, I have this Goddess Oracle. And it is gorgeous. And it was so profound. I don't have a tarot to use it with, and I don't work with it currently. I don't know if I want to get rid of it because it means so much to me. My wife bought it for me. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't want to make it into art. I don't want to get rid of it. But at the same time, I don't use it. I don't want to retire it. I don't know. I guess my only thing is, like I said, I don't use it. And I haven't used this in over a year. But for whatever reason, I'm not ready to let it go. I think maybe this is one of those decks that as I start to build solidity into my spiritual practice, I'll better be able to determine if this deck has a future with me or if I'm just going to end up keeping it for sentimental reasons, because that's a possibility. But it's not going anywhere. This this specific category is not a very big declutter category, specifically because all of these things here are extremely specially used, and that continues with my Cosmovisions Oracle / tarot. I consider it a tarot deck. I use this to work and commune with my ancestors, and I love it. It has been phenomenal. I do have the coins, which, for those who don't know, the coins of this, they took all, James R. Eads, who created this deck, took all of the all of the court cards and put them into their own suit, the 5th suit of being. And he also restructured the majors. I like the order of them. I love this deck. I was working with it a lot, and I'm now kind of in a break with the ancestor stuff. I need to find ancestor work is one of the things I want to integrate into my everyday life, but I'm still finding how to, and I want to work with these coins in a way, but again, I'm still figuring how to do those things. In the meantime, I'm not using this deck very much right now, but it'll come back. I'm never getting rid of this deck. I'm so enamored with it. I love it so much. I feel like I'm still percolating the ideas of how I want to, what kinds of, like, the way my brain works, when I find things that go together, like my Starseeker Tarot, my Heavenly Bodies Tarot, in my brain, those go together. And by seeing them together, I get inspired. I get a lot more ideas. And then, based on the inspiration of those ideas, I can build them solidly into my practice. So my Heavenly Bodies astrology deck and my Starseeker, I work with at least once a month at the end of the month. I pull it out. I do my predictions. I also work with it throughout the month, depending on my astrology going on. I know what I use it for. And that means I use it. And that means I don't tend to really miss it as much when I don't use it. I do kind of miss it, but I don't. But there's something about the process of pairing things that feel like they go together that unlocks some inspiration in my brain. And from there, I find how I want to use them. And then I'm able to build an integrated practice around that. So like the Starseeker, I saw the Starseeker Tarot, and I knew I wanted to use it with the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. And I knew I wanted to use the Heavenly Bodies astrology deck for astrology stuff, because duh. And then once I got the two together, I figured out how I wanted to use them together. And then once I figured out how I wanted to use them together, then I was able to build them into my life. And now it's a fully integrated thing that I just do. And so it's solid. And that tends to be how I build things. So, so this is a thing that I'm still missing. I think I can work with, working with the coins with this would be fabulous, and looking at it that way is a really good idea. So I really like that idea. I kind of wish I could fit the coins in here, but I can't. But I'm going to, now that I've had the thought of like, oh my God, I should work with this with the coins, I'm going to be exploring that. And that's exciting. I feel like And I mean, I do still work with this. If I want to talk to my ancestors, I get this out and I shuffle, and when I'm trying to commune with anything, I tell them to I'll ask yes or no questions, and if I get a major card, or in this case a major or the suit of beings, then I know it's a yes, right? And that's how I work with things. So I do still do that. I just want to build a more specific thing because I want to work with it more. So I do have that, my Cosmo Visions. It's not going anywhere. And I'm just going to stick my coins up there so I'll remember to work with them together, hopefully. The last decks I have in this all go together in one big happy tarot family. This is my Pagan packet bundle, I like to call it. Oof. Some dirt. So, I have here my Witch's Wisdom Tarot. And I've talked about this before. I use this for my Pagan Wheel of the Year readings, just like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna put this card aside so I can show you after. This deck just feels like paganiness. And this one also has the majors reordered. Turns out I really like decks that have the majors reordered. This deck is stunning. I love the art. The guidebook is so good. This is another one I looked at for my Say Yes to the Deck. I said no to it, and then I ended up buying it before my Starseeker Tarot arrived. I had this. I love that the 8 card, this is equivalent to Temperance. But it's also tied to my life path number in this deck, the 8. This deck is just a stunner. I love it so much. And I was using it for my Wheel of the Year readings because I like to do readings for every turn of the wheel, the Pagan wheel. And I was using it that way, and it was wonderful. And then, some of you probably know where this is going. And then a series of oracle decks started being created called the Seasons of the Witch Oracle. Let's shift this over just a little bit more. Which I do have all of them so far. Because once I realized I could pair these together and the art style goes really well, I was sold on the idea. So this is the Seasons of the Witch Beltane Oracle. There's Beltane. Look, it's got the bees. Look at that. And the Beltane one is probably one of my favorites so far. Probably because Beltane is one of my favorites. But look at the art. The art goes together so well. And so now, and the creators of this have confirmed, I was speaking to one on Instagram, they are doing all 8. I don't know which one they're doing next, but the plan is to do all 8. I guess their publishers already agreed to it, and I guess it's going well, so they're keeping it. That's amazing. So far, there have been 3, which I have, and I love it. What I really love is I like going outside to connect with my pagan spirituality. And then I got the idea to put them together in this 2-pocket wrap bag and have my pagan package. So that way when I want to go outside, I can just grab my stuff and go outside. I also have the Seasons of the Witch Samhain Oracle is one of the other ones. Which this one is this beautiful, beautiful red. I am really loving it. it feels, both this deck and the Oracle decks feel like my pagan spirituality to me. They feel like my witchhood. And I really love working with them together. And I'm so thrilled at the idea. And like, this just shows that this is a pagan deck, because there's the Wheel of the Year. The idea that one day I'll have 8 Oracle decks and I'll be able to, with each turn of the wheel, switch out and work through that season of the year with that deck with the Witch's Wisdom is astounding. And when I got the idea to put them in the packet and be able to take them with me outside, I started using them more. Have paganism will travel. And the last one in this group is the Yule Oracle. I haven't found a Samhain bag I like yet, but I really like this Yule one. And it's just stunning. They're just so beautiful and so perfect together. I just love it so much. I love them so much. And because I am a pagan witch, to me that meant these classified as a highly spiritual deck. So that's, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 decks in this section. Oh, I guess it's not my biggest section. It's almost my biggest section. That's 7 decks in this section, and none of them are leaving my collection because they're just not. You can't, no. It's no. Just no. So for now, I'm going to put this back in here with my Beltane Oracle, because that's the one that feels most relatable to the time of year we're in. Hold on one second. Okay, those are back away. I just kept my Beltane Oracle in there because even though it's no longer Beltane season, Beltane is the most comparable of the thing. The themes in it are the most comparable and translatable. I could still potentially work with the Beltane cards through Litha. I'm not sure. So I just finished and I realized I forgot something, so I'm just going to slip this in here where I can. There is one more deck in this category which is coming, and that is my Wisdom of the Crow Tarot. Because of the way I'm connected to Crow, I believe that deck will be a very highly spiritual kind of experience working with it that will be very much the same as how I experience working with these decks that we've seen in this category. So I did mean to mention it here, and I've put up some pictures in the editing so you can see it. That one is coming. And yeah, back to what I already filmed. But that is the last of these ones in this category. Let me know in the comments down below, do you have any decks you really like to work for specific parts of your spiritual practice? Also, what's it like for you learning to integrate things into your spiritual practice? It does not come easy for me to build a spiritual practice. And I'm just, as I'm filming these, having epiphanies and figuring out how to work with them. But let me know about that stuff in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification. And make sure you stay tuned because the next part is coming. And that next one is going to be my playful and fairy decks, because the categories were too small on their own, so I've combined them. Anywho, and then there's just one more category after that. And please also check the description box where you can check out my website, and you can find information about how you can work with me. And that is all for today, and I will see you again soon. Lots of love. Bye.